For those who don't know what meal prepping is or how to meal prep, unfortunately you are stuck a little far behind, and this is something you need to get onto and start doing straight away. Prepping your meals is very important. When it comes to getting in shape, whether you want to build muscle or drop fat, or with anything in life that you want to be successful at, you need to have a plan. I know it is basic, boring advice, but if you go into something that you have no idea what you are doing, the chances of you failing are a lot higher. Now don't get me wrong, failing is not always a bad thing. If you fail, it means you learn and you find why you failed and fix those mistakes so you don't do them again next time. However, if you plan ahead, look into something before you start, know exactly what it takes to be successful at what you're about to do, not only do you learn faster, but the chances of being successful are a lot higher. If you can stop mistakes from happening before they occur, obviously that is a really good outcome, and meal prepping definitely fits into this situation. Now when we are dieting to get in shape, we eat good, clean food 7 days a week. Whether it's building muscle or dropping fat, the same principle still applies. Then we have one cheat meal on top of that as a reward for our hard work. So for a male, it should be eating anywhere from 6 to 8 meals per day. For a female, you should be eating anywhere from 4 to 6 meals per day. The reason we need to eat so frequently is because eating frequently is the one and only way to increase the speed of your metabolism, which allows your body to drop fat faster and absorb some or more nutrients from the good quality food you are eating. So if you were eating, let's say 7 times per day, 7 days per week, that equals to a total of 49 meals. How the hell are you going to consume 49 meals in a week without buying takeaway all the time, or snacking on junk, or basically taking the easy way out? There is a very simple answer, and that is to prepare your meals in advance and to make sure you always have them on hand wherever you go. The key to being successful in dieting is to make sure you have all your food on hand ready to eat whenever you need to eat it. Now if you don't have your meals with you, you're going to get very hungry, and I know when I personally get hungry, I get very moody, and all I want to do is eat something bad. If you go to work and you don't have lunch, it is highly likely that you're going to go purchase something to eat to get you by until you get home. It is also highly likely you're not going to be able to find something healthy, so you'll end up eating something bad. Now if you do this multiple times per week, every week, you're not going to get to see progress at all. You need to have your meals cooked, ready to go, and with you at all the time so you don't get into temptations and you are able to stay strict with your diet. Now if you don't have time to make dinner, that can be included in part of the meal prep, and also before bed shake with either peanut butter or Greek yogurt. It only takes 30 seconds to prepare, so that is very easy as well. So really it is either going to be 3 or 4 meals depending on whether or not you're going to decide to meal prep your dinner that you need to have there ready for you to eat on a daily basis. I find cooking twice per week as opposed to once per week a lot more effective, also a lot more enjoyable, as you never need to freeze your food or the food never goes off. Now on Sunday you are going to cook for 3 days in advance, and on Wednesday you're cooking for 4 days in advance. You can cook once per week and freeze the meals if you're really finding it hard to find the time, but I do recommend doing it twice per week as part of your weekly routine. Yes, it is a massive pain in the ass and it is a little time consuming, but if it were easy, everyone would look good. Just for the sake of being able to explain this to you easier, I'm just going to use me as an example and explain how to meal prep for one person, because the math is a lot easier to understand. On Sunday, I'll meal prep 9 meals. I'll be having 3 meals a day over the next 3 days. So in my diet, I have 200 grams of uncooked lean meat in all 3 meals. Lean meat being chicken, turkey, even tuna, whitefish, or lean mince. I like to mix it up. In the bodybuilding world, whenever you give someone a diet or whenever you're following a diet, it's just basically a universal rule that stays pretty consistent, and that is all the food is weighed uncooked. Now the reason we weigh everything uncooked is because the nutrition data on the label, almost all foods is usually the raw weight, and that is the best and most accurate use because weight varies depending on how long you cook the food for. The longer you cook something, the more water it loses. So everything is always weighed uncooked because it is more accurate reading. So if I'm having 200 grams of uncooked chicken, let's say in 3 meals, that equals 600 grams of uncooked chicken per day. If I'm cooking for 3 days in advance, 600 grams times 3 days is 1.8 kilos of uncooked chicken. So when you go to the chicken shop or wherever it is to get your chicken from, order 1.8 of raw chicken. You can take that home ready to cook it up, and that is going to last you 3 days. If it were 4 days, you would buy 2.4 kilos of chicken, so you just add another 600 grams. Now does that make sense? So when it comes time to cook, you cook all the 1.8 kilos at once, cut it up into little pieces, put some nice spices over it, make it look all pretty, do whatever you need to do to make it taste a little bit better. And once it is all cooked, you divide the amount of chicken by 9 because we are cooking for 9 meals, and put it all in the separate containers. And if you divide the end amount of cooked chicken equally by 9, you are obviously going to have close to 200 grams of chicken in each container. You do the same thing with, let's say, sweet potato. If you're having 300 grams of uncooked sweet potato over 6 meals, you'll purchase 1.8 kilos of sweet potato, cook it, add it all up, and divide it by 6. Now you do the same thing with white rice. If you were having 100 grams of white rice over 3 meals, you get 300 grams of uncooked white rice, cook it all up, divide it and quantity by 3 into 3 separate containers. Now, to be honest, I don't really enjoy eating my greens. They aren't delicious, but the vitamins and minerals you get from the vegetables actually play a part in the recovery of the muscle. Now, in your day-to-day energy levels and overall health, as well as you trying to eat as much of them as you can. Now, you cook your chicken, you cook your sweet potato, you cook your white rice, you put all the divided amounts into separate containers, and you have 3 meals a day for the next 3 days, ready to be eating whenever you are, whenever you may need them. Now, this is a very effective method and is more important than you can imagine when it comes to seeing the results in the gym. If you have your food with you at all times and you still cheat your diet, that is just not acceptable, and that is pure laziness or pure lack of willpower. There is no excuse for it. Now, cook your meals, be organized and plan ahead. Meal prepping is very easy. It takes a little time, but I promise you, if you suck it up and do it for 3 to 4 weeks and get all your workouts done, you will get instantly hooked on the results and it will become part of your day-to-day life. You just need to make it part of your routine and try your best to get used to it. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys.